Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Happy to be with you yet again. I have a new show. What? Yeah. I had a few minutes during the Christmas holiday break. I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll add one more show to my list of shows. That would make me up to 8 different podcasts. And I did it. I have a new show, and it's called the Podcast Editing and Support Show. And it is designed for 2 groups of people. Because I couldn't decide on just one, I'm going to do 2 groups of people. If you are thinking of becoming a podcast editor and you're looking for some behind the scenes about how to build your business, how to find contacts and clients, how to learn the skills to take your editing to a new level and start doing services to help others with their podcast and make a little side hustle money or turn this into your career. This podcast is designed for you. I've listened to other podcasts about this topic and they just fade away into obscurity. That old pod fade raising its ugly head again. And all these great podcasts just die. So I'm like, okay, as a podcast editor myself with my 8 different podcasts, and now I have clients, I'd like to take you on the journey of how I'm building my business and inspire you to do the same. And be a resource for you as you become an editor for profit and make money at doing it. So I'd love to help you with that. So it's called the Podcast Editing and Support Show. The other group of people this is for are podcasters who are looking for an editor, whether that's a video editor, audio editor, somebody to help you with your website, social media, a consultation to get your podcast started, all of those things. As a podcast editor, producer, we can help you, and I can help you at truemediasolutions.ca is my website for all of my podcasts. And I actually got the domain as well for this podcast, podcasteditingandsupport.com. I thought that, how did I get that website? I don't know. And you know what? It cost me like $15. Yeah. So there's still great domains out there in the world, everyone. If you don't have a website for your podcast or your podcast editing service or your whatever, you really need to think about going to get the domain, buy it, instead of sending people to social media. What a waste of time. You don't own that audience. You don't own that platform. And you're at the mercy of whoever holds the keys to where you're building your kingdom. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. I'd much rather have my own website. So I have podcasteditingandsupport.com. And you're like, wow, Dave, I wish I could build a website. Well, buy the domain. It's, again, $15 a year. And then what I use is Canva. And I built my entire website on Canva. So there you go. How easy is that? None of that WordPress joke and plugins and no, that's annoying by so many. I just can't. No, thank you. I'm going to use Canva. It's so much easier. So that's how I did it. So if you want to go check it out, podcasteditingandsupport.com. And so a new podcast is out there for you. And I thought I'd give you a little clip here so you can hear what it sounds like. And check it out. And if you're interested, come over and join us. It's going to be totally different episodes than what you hear here on the How to Podcast series, but a companion to what I'm doing here on this show for a different audience that may or may not find their content here. So that's it. I get an idea, I go after it. I don't wait. And you shouldn't wait either. 2024 is here. If you haven't started your podcast, then you need to start. You need to learn the skills to do the editing. I'll help you learn all that. Turn your editing into a business. Make money. Or if you're just looking to hire somebody, you're like, Dave, I can't do this. I'm busy. I'm a speaker. I write books. I travel. I have my own business. Can you just do the editing for me and I'll just record and drop it in Google Drive and you take care of it? Yes, I can do that for you. And I'm doing that right now for clients around the world. And I'd love to add you to the list, the roster. So if you're interested, reach out to me. I'd love to have information here for you. I'd love to have a conversation with you and help you with your podcast. But here you go. Here's the little snippet from our new podcast. And I'd love for you to go over and check it out and share it maybe with somebody who's thinking of, again, starting a podcast business, of being an editor or in support for podcasters, or you're looking to hire someone like me, Dave, who can do this all for you. Podcasteditingandsupport.com. Here is the trailer for the show. Here we go. Hey, welcome to the Podcast Editing and Support Show. Yeah, hey, we're here. Hey, this is the new podcast for all things podcast editing. You want to be an editor? You need an editor? Hey, this is the podcast for you. You're just looking for support. You're looking for somebody not sure how to do all this stuff. It's a lot of technology. I want to hire somebody. I want to hit record and know that somebody's going to take care of everything. That you? Maybe just looking to grow as an editor. You want to meet other editors just like you? This is the show for you. So this is the Podcast Editing and Support Show. My name is Dave. I host 8 podcasts, and I love helping podcasters. Whether you need to hire a podcast editor or you want to learn how to become a podcast editor, we're going to be talking about all things podcast editing. Find an editor, be an editor. This is the Podcast Editing and Support Show. Let's go. So there you go. There's the 60-second commercial for you about the show. But love to have you come and join us over there. The Podcast Editing and Support Show, a companion podcast to the How to Podcast series. We talk about all things podcasting. And I have one more thing to offer to you that I'd love to have you join us for. Is I've set up over on Meetup.com a meetup group for the How to Podcast series. And what we're doing is meeting up with other podcasters. So why are we doing this? Because podcasting can be quite lonely. Podcasting is done in solitude for most of us, especially for us who do solo episodes. Just us, a microphone, and a computer screen. And it'd be great to talk to somebody else who loves podcasting. You know, when you sit around the dinner table or go out for dinner with your friends and the topic of podcasting come up, you start going on and on and on about podcasting and my show and my analytics and my listeners and my episodes and blah, blah, blah. And all your friends, their eyes start rolling back in their heads like, I don't even know what a podcast is. I think you've gone to some other realm. I have no idea what you're talking about. And you sit there quietly going, I wish there was someone I could just geek out on podcasting with and have community conversations and build relationships with other podcasters, learn from other people doing what I do. And I don't have to explain what a podcast is. Wouldn't that be great? We're doing that on Meetup. And we have meetups scheduled. We're going to try to do 1 or 2 a month. And it's free, completely free for you. It costs me money as a host. I have to pay for it. So I don't mind doing that, but it's free for you to join us. Head over to meetup.com. Everything's in the show notes. Come and join us. Join the conversation. And don't come to get, come to give. And you're like, Dave, I don't even have a podcast. I'm just thinking about starting a show. Perfect. Come and give encouragement. Come and give support. Come and give feedback to those that are gathered. Don't come just to get, because you're going to get something out of it. That's the goal. But I'd rather everyone show up to give. I'm here to give for you, and I would love for you to come and give to the group. And if we have 1 person there or 20, awesome. You're invited, and you can come for the whole time together. It's about an hour. Or you can just drop in and drop out. It's fine. I'm happy with that. But I would love to have you there because having you there makes it better. So your voice matters, and I would love to hear you and have you part of the conversation over on our meetup groups. So if you're interested, howtopodcast.ca has all the links and everything there. Also the show notes. You can reach out to me anytime and I can fill you in on what's coming up. If you have an idea for a meetup topic that we can put out there to get more podcasters interested, then come join us. Meetups aren't just for local meetups at a coffee shop. We can do this virtually online and you can meet people from around the world. build your network, grow your community, get possible guests to come on your show, be a guest on someone's show, and connect with amazing podcasters just like you at different stages in their podcast journey with one express purpose: to help you with your podcast, answer your questions, give you advice, give you insight, give you a different opinion, and you make the decision. And build some great new friendships with other podcasters who do exactly what you do, know what it's like to podcast, and would love to support you. It's our meetups, and we're doing them all year here in 2024. And we'll do as many as we can, and as many as you want. Howtopodcast.ca is everywhere you can find it, and I would love to have you come and join us. Okay? So, you have the podcast editing and support show to check out. You have Meetups, which we'd love to have you part of. And if you're looking for a podcast editor who can do all this for you, you just want to record. You just want to hit record and put your episode in a file folder online, and it comes back to you with your intro, your outro, all your ums and ahs are fixed and corrected, your little stumbles are corrected, the dog barking is removed in the background, and you have something you're proud of. I would love to be part of that, and I'd love to do that for you. Rates are reasonable, and I'd love to work with you and come up with a plan that works for your podcast and for your needs. Everything you can find is all in the show notes. I can't wait to have you back for the next episode. The Daily Dave, the How to Podcast series, podcast editing and support show, on and on and on. It's all for you. Thanks for being here. Get out there and record your episode. Enjoy 2024. It's only going to be here for a short time. Take care.